Hiya folks, well this is part 2 of our Webb Lawn Mower fix. We've got the new gasket now, the new head gasket, so let's get this cleaned up, put it on, see if we can get this to start. See you in a minute. If you haven't visited our channel before and you do like our channel, hit the notification bell down there as well, and that means every time we upload a video you'll get notified. And I'd also like to thank, as I mentioned in my last video, for the kind subscriber. I didn't catch his name because he didn't leave any information on it. He sent me an email. His name was Frank Kent from Stoke-on-Trent, who's actually sent me this, so thank you very much, Frank. This is going to come in very handy for our lawnmower restorations. Right, okay, well it's just arrived in the post. And is it? Oh, it's genuine Briggs and Stratton, I think, isn't it? Yep. Genuine Briggs and Stratton gasket here. Let's have a little look. So there we go. That's what we got there. And yeah, so we'll just open this up and have a little look. Make sure it's all okay. And as you can see, there it is. Got the Briggs and Stratton logo on it there. You probably can't see that, but it is a genuine one. Right, so that's that. So we've got to obviously scrape the old gasket off of the head and also off the barrel. As I said to you, everything else there seems to be in order, so we'll take them bolts out there. Gary can clean up this gasket face there, I'll do the other one, and then we can reassemble. Right, I've cleaned the face off there, as you can probably see. Give it a nice scrape down. Someone did mention in my last video they thought that this plug reach looks a bit too long for this engine, so I'll just show you that it's not. It's actually the correct depth. So I'll wind the plug right in. Just wind that in just to make a seal, because I'm going to do another check in a second, which I'll show you about. While it's off, because we've obviously got a compression issue, we just want to confirm that we've got no other issue. So if I just tighten that plug back in, as you can see there, it's actually sitting level within the head. So that is the correct length plug in there, just for that person. I can't remember who it was now, who said they thought that plug looks a bit long in there. So there we go, it isn't. Right, so now I've actually got the plug in. As you know, there's our valve sitting in there. We don't know whether or not, someone did mention that the valves could be let in by. We'll check to do that as soon as we got this off. I'll just squirt some carb cleaner in the head and just leave that sitting like that. And as you can probably see there, that fluid isn't seeping away at all. That's the reason why I put the spark plug in, and also tighten the spark plug on its seating washer as well. So that's the situation we got with the cylinder head on, and if we was leaking or letting by on the valves, you would see that fluid drip away, and then you'd know you'd have to lap the valves in as well. But I'm sure you can see there that while we've got the head off, that's a 2-minute check, if that, just to confirm or eliminate that there was a possible valve problem as well. Right, so this has all been cleaned and scraped down now. Again, dry gasket face, you don't need to put any gasket seal around there whatsoever. Always lay your gasket on just to make sure that it is on the right way. So yeah, it's the right gasket there, as we can probably see. Right, so just put a couple of studs in there like that. Just go diagonals. Just means I can hang the gasket on the back of the head. So we're just going to put the head gasket and bolts in, and we'll tighten these up. Okay then, so we've tightened the head down now. And let's just plonk these push rods back in. You want to make sure you get these in correctly, because you can push past where they need to go. So they've got to seat in correctly. Replace the rockers. Again, we'll just tighten these down. We're going to have to adjust these up afterwards, but I just want to get them in position first of all. So that's the first one sitting in there. And again, can't put these in the wrong way really. That's the smooth side that goes on the top of the tappet. And there's a little dimple there which locates on the top of the push rod. Right, so the centre part of them, as you probably have told you before, is where you adjust them from with an Allen key, and the locking part is the outer part. So I've just done them up hand tight at the moment. And if you just want to turn the engine over, can you just pull the handle up, Gary, so that it takes the brake off the clutch, and I can just turn the engine over and just ensure that the tappets are working correctly. In other words, that the push rods are located, so that we can make sure that they're actually firing up and down as they should do before we adjust them. And And as you can see, they're turning the engine over. In actual fact, I can feel a lot more compression, I think, in there now, while I'm turning this over by hand. So that's a good sign. So all we need to do now is find the values of the gaps there, and then we'll gap these up. Right, we spent about 40 minutes online trying to look for the valve clearances on this little 450 engine. We can't find the model number on this one anywhere. We've been on the Briggs and Stratton website. We've looked everywhere where they've said it, and it's not appeared. They do say that there's 3 places to look. One is, where was it, on the side of the muffler or just below the muffler? One is on this bracket, apparently, that sits on this side of the engine, which it's not on there. There's no number on there. And we've looked at actually all over it, and even on the air cover as well, there's a couple of stickers on there. In the EU, it just gives you an EU number, and none of them probably relate to the American site. So we've had to go into forums. We can't find any information in forums. We can't find any information on YouTube with regards to the valve settings. We did manage to find the Briggs and Stratton website giving reference to the 450 series engines as well as the 500 series, not the 450E. So we're going to have to go by that. They're all pretty close anyway. And the intake and exhaust, we think, correct us in the comment section if you do know for sure what they are. We found for the intake valve or the inlet valve between 5 to 7 thou, and for the exhaust valve between 7 to 9 thou. So we're going to go with that. If it is wrong, obviously leave a comment underneath, or if you do know the correct specification for this 450E engine, let us know below. Right, okay, so we're going to turn the engine. Just pull the brake, Gary, so I can turn the engine over. We want to get the engine on its compression stroke, or just past the compression stroke, so that the valves are rocking. We just put a small screwdriver in the spark plug hole so we can see when the piston comes up. Right, we know it's at the top now, but as you can see there, the valves are rocking now. So we're going to go down again and then come up again, and now on its way down. See, they're not rocking now, you see, look, they're both not rocking. So we're going to just hold it on the top dead center back there, and as you can see how loose they are, you can go past top dead center. As you can see, they're not going down now, so you can go quarter of the way down the bore and it's not a problem. And now we can now gap these to what we think they should be. Right, so I'm going to set the inlet valve to 5 thou. Just want to wind that adjuster nut out. So I've wound the centre nut out. So as you can see there at the moment, I've got just wind that in there. Got a nice bit of drag on that. So I'm just going to nip up the locking nut like that, and as you can see, just a nice, always take it out and then push it back in again, and it should just sneak in there. There we go, like that, look. Right, well, I've set that, it's probably nearer 6 than 5, because that's a 7 thou, and that's pulling nicely on there now. So very tricky things to do, these. The outside one you have to loosen, and then either turn it one way, the centre spindle, with a little Allen key, and very fine setting, so very tricky to set. So we've got that one set probably to about 6 thou, although it looks loose there, as you can probably see. Don't worry about that. There's a 7 thou going in there, and it's sliding in there. Nice, just nice. So this one's 7 to 9. So this is the procedure you're going to have to go through. Again, back off. Just untake the slack out, and then wind that centre one out a little bit, half a turn. Tighten that one back up, just nip the outer one up. That push that valve down in. Yeah, see, it's gone too tight now. So I've gone too much, so slacken off. And then I'm winding the nut now inwards because I've gone too tight. So level, yeah, quarter of a turn. It's a bit of a fiddle, but you'll get there. Still too tight, I can feel that. So I'm just going to slacken it off again. And I'm going to wind that in another quarter of a turn till we get in the ballpark. There we go, that was a quarter of a turn. Just nipped up there and it's still tight. You've just got to play about like this till you get it right. Wind it in another quarter of a turn. Now we get in there. I can feel that now, look. So just nip that up now. We'll slide the 7 in there. Now look at that, look. Lovely bit of drag on the 7. So that's absolutely fine now. Now I can just finish off with a final nip up on the outer nut, like that. And that one, as you can see, is now set on the 7. Look at that, perfect. Turn the engine over a couple of times and then recheck your valves. So again, I'm just going to turn them over. Just make sure they go around, up and down like they should do. Because this is a 4-cycle engine, the piston comes up twice. So just watch what happens with the valves. Right, piston's now coming up again. Right, it's at the top now, as you can see. But can you see the valves there opening and shutting? That's not the cycle we want, so we take it back down again, clockwise, come back up again, and when you come back up, there we go, we're at the top of the stroke again, the screwdriver's going up and down, but the valves are now on the way down again, the valves aren't moving, look, so that's the compression stroke, and that's where you want to adjust these valves. So we'll just check them again. That one, 5 foul. And the exhaust one, we've got that set on 7 foul. Look at that. So we're now happy that we've done them. We can put that cover on and finish off. Right, carb back in location there, as you can see. Just get the air filter body now and put that back into place. What we did notice, someone correctly pointed out, when we sprayed the Easy Start in this in the last video, we actually sprayed it in the crankcase breather rather than down there is where the actual intake is for your carb. So a little mistake there which we made. But let's get that on there like that. As I say, not very much info at all online about these 450Es, so we'll just get these screws in. Again, I don't like doing the screws up like this with a battery or an impact driver because I like to feel they're only thin plates at the end of the day. Into the actual carb itself. Okay, that's that. So that's the primer bulb back in situ. Yeah, that's where you actually squirt the Easy Start in through there instead of there where we squirt it in, so it's actually down there. Right, air filter back on. Clip the cover on. So we'll just put the recover coil on and then we'll give it a start. And also the spark plug as well. Right, so everything's back together now. We haven't started it yet. We're going to take it outside. We're going to try and fire it up for the first time. Let's go and do that. Right, okay then. Let's give it a prime. Right, okay, Bert, see if that'll fire up. Happy days. Lovely little mower. Running sweet as a nut. Turn it off. Let's just put that on there. That's running absolutely as sweet as a nut. Go on then, try it again. Absolutely lovely. I suppose you can see there that that's a lovely little mower there, and once it's cleaned up, we give it a polish up and all that, do all the plastics. There's no paint rot or nothing on this whatsoever. it's probably someone's had a look at it. I would suggest that that cylinder head had been taken off by someone, because when I actually removed it in the last video, normally when you break a head gasket, when you take it off, as that one was already broken, the head was already loose. As soon as I undone the bolts, it sort of fell off and the gasket was already in half. I think someone's actually taken that off, had a look at it, broke the gasket, put it back on, it wouldn't start, and then that's the problem. So anyway, there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. Don't forget, hit that subscribe tab down there, and also ring that little notification bell if you don't mind. You can leave a thumbs up or thumbs down as well. So see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.